Well, friends of the Maldini world, here we are at the Santiago Bernabeu, 22 European Cups between Real Madrid and Milan. Do I hear louder, Adri? Tremendous, tremendous. Well, here as always, there is a quite clear calm now. Here we have the Real Madrid crest. We have Luis. This gentleman is the one who makes everything happen. If you watch the match on Movistar Plus, the really important one, well, the players are important too, but the really important one is Luis, this gentleman. And I want to show you something that you will like. Kylian Mbappé, here he is. Will Kylian Mbappé finally improve? Those of you watching the match, those of you watching the video, the match is over. Kylian Mbappé will finally improve. Look at what the friends from Munich have done. It's amazing. Luka Modric. These are the friendly caricatures made by the friends from Munich, who have a lot of not only footballers, but also coaches, actors, and fictional characters. They are amazing. These are not fictional. They play and very well. And today Mbappé will definitely play. We will see if Modric is a starter. For now we don't know. But I will of course leave the link in the video description. Kylian Mbappé, Lukas Modric. Which one do you like more? Our friend the cameraman, 2009, likes Mbappé more. So Mbappé it is. Let's see if he finally starts to play better than how he has been playing so far and scoring goals. Because he is shooting a lot. And Luka Modric, let's analyze what this tremendous match between Real Madrid and Milan has been. Come on, let's go. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The great Zlatan Ibrahimovic is right here, who is now involved with the club, of course. Let's see, if you haven't seen Zlatan Ibrahimovic someday, I promise we will do something powerful. 2009 de Zlatan here in Mundo Maldini, because what a player. Well, friends of Mundo Maldini, as you know, we sponsor here on your channel the city of Ceuta, which is a spectacular city that you have to visit. And I am at the highest point of the city, the viewpoint of Isabel Daikun, and it's amazing. You can see some boats, which you can see here, some boats crossing the Strait of Gibraltar. The rock is right behind, and here we have part of the city of Ceuta, which is truly a marvel. A city that when you arrive, you fall in love with immediately. Just like we have all fallen in love with football, you know. You also fall in love with this city of Ceuta. Let's have the match. Well, friends of Mundo Maldini, it was a tough defeat for Real Madrid. We have the Milan fans here who are still, let's see if I can get a shot. They are still, of course, very happy with this victory of Milan against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. Madrid's Champions League is becoming very complicated. They have two upcoming away games, Anfield Liverpool versus Real Madrid and then Atalanta versus Real Madrid. These are two very difficult matches. But Real Madrid has conceded 9 goals in the last 3 matches at the Bernabeu. 2 from Borussia Dortmund, 4 from Barca, and 3 today. And Real Madrid, fundamentally, now I talk about Milan, which for me played a great match, with some very interesting tactical details from Paulo Fonseca. Tomorrow we will have an analysis with Weisskott, of course, of the match. You will also have the ratings from the match tomorrow. But Madrid has fundamentally attacked poorly and defended, I would say, worse. They attacked poorly because Madrid had a very erratic Vinicius. Isn't it unusual for a Vinicius you are listening to? I imagine in the background the Milan fans. A very erratic Vinicius is not normal, not at all. Mbappé, who has gone from more to less in the match, he tried to make runs. And the match was quite favorable for them to exploit the space with Milan's high defense, especially by finding through balls. But Madrid has tried little. They have tried little. He started with Luka Modric in midfield and with Tchouaméni. I want to pause for a moment on Tchouaméni. Then I will talk about Mbappé. I will talk about Jude Bellingham. I am really quite worried about Jude Bellingham's current form. A lot. Very much. But first, you are hearing the shouts. But I shout a little louder than the Milan fans. Today, Tchouaméni has been, I don't know if definitely marked, but yes, very marked in the match. Very marked for, first, because he was at fault for both goals, more so in the second than in the first, but I also think he was very soft on that corner, that Milan scored. But the Bernabeu crowd was already booing him at the end of the first half, clearly booing every time he touched the ball. And Ancelotti had no choice but to take him off for Camavinga. We pointed out to Ancelotti. He had no choice but to take him off because he was playing very poorly and because Madrid needed to change something in the match. Camavinga's entry hasn't contributed much today either. He didn't have the best match, by any means, Luka Modric. But above all, defensively Madrid has been poor. They attacked poorly because they never found a way to hurt Milan. And they defended poorly once again. And above all, it has been a very soft team. I want to say this because it has happened more times here. I have commented on all the Champions League matches, the 3 Champions League matches so far. Stuttgart at the Bernabeu, Stuttgart, Borussia Dortmund, and today in Milan. And in all 3, beyond the fact that Madrid ended up winning the first 2, in all 3 the opponent has been very comfortable for too many minutes. Borussia Dortmund was very comfortable. The first half ended 2-0. And Stuttgart was very comfortable as well, who ended up losing the match surely without being inferior to Real Madrid. We said it that day, I said it in the Movistar broadcast, and I said it here on Mundo Maldini, and today exactly the same. This is the Champions League, friends of Mundo Maldini. There is a high level here with players like Reijnders, like Leao, like Pulisic. See you later, see you later. Here he is leaving us already. I will stay here recording some more videos. See you. Bye. Players of very high level already, logically. Reijnders had an outstanding match. Reijnders had an outstanding match because he was able to play too comfortably for me. Then tomorrow you will see the match ratings. I'm going to go downstairs to do the ratings. Reijnders plays too comfortably. Of course, Madrid cannot allow an opponent to play so comfortably. There was a moment for Milan when Vinicius scored the equalizing goal. That penalty. From there, Madrid, instead of pressing, stopped applying pressure. And Milan played, I insist, too comfortably. They were able to slow down the game, have long possessions. This cannot happen to Real Madrid, especially at home, at the Bernabeu. It was clear that Lucas Vázquez was not going to be able to defend Rafael Leao, and he couldn't. He couldn't. Rafael caused a lot of damage, made a couple of very good plays, and ended up making the play for the third goal. I found it hard to understand Ancelotti's substitution. Tomorrow I will rate Ancelotti. I found it hard to understand Ancelotti's substitution because it was evident that the right flank with Valverde near Lucas Vázquez was relatively well controlling that left flank of Milan with Theo Hernandez. And Rafael Leao, it is true. Real Madrid had to take risks, but taking Valverde out surprised me. By bringing in Ibrahim, he may have thought he would dominate a lot, that he would play a lot inside. But in the end, it went very wrong for him because Milan always had their defense very high and kept the most skillful players of Real Madrid far away to make that last penultimate pass. Thus, Milan perfectly detected how Real Madrid could not harm them. And logically, Lucas Vázquez suffered a lot in the second half, and in the end, he practically sealed the match for Milan. It is true that with that goal from Rudiger, which was on March 2nd, a little hope opened up, but it was offside. We saw it. He was just ahead when the play started, but it was offside. The goal comes from one side, obviously, and at that point, Madrid's hopes were over. In fact, I saw some images that surprised me a lot. I hadn't seen them on television, but there were 10 minutes left in December, and people were leaving the Bernabeu. It surprised me a lot, honestly. I think it is a feeling I did not expect to see, especially considering what we have seen here, from Madrid at the Bernabeu. Before talking a little about Milan, Jude Bellingham, in the second half, was physically exhausted. There were 2 or 3 plays. The match was quite back and forth in the second half because Milan was counter-attacking and Madrid was attacking with many players. A disorganized match? Yes. This type of disorganized match, logically, poses more physical wear. Well, there were a couple of plays in the second half where Bellingham was completely out of the play because he couldn't reach the danger zone. Physically, he couldn't. In the second half, Jude Bellingham tried. He never hides, he worked hard, but Carlo Ancelotti had to substitute him because he couldn't go on. He ended up playing with Ceballos, with Frank Garcia, with Rudiger on the left, meaning a series of quite unusual things for Real Madrid because the players had run out. And let's see, it's 2 consecutive losses for Real Madrid. 2 consecutive losses for Real Madrid. A very tough one against Barcelona, and a very tough one today. 1 victory, it's true that it was glorious, agonizing, however you want to put it, against Borussia after a very poor first half. Madrid has evident problems. Whoever doesn't want to see it, Ancelotti has to see it and look for solutions. Real Madrid has evident problems in creation and defensively. Today they succumbed, and I believe that Milan, throughout the entire match, was the rightful winner of this game. To finish a couple of details about Milan, they played with a 5-man defense, put Musa as a wing-back, moved Emerson inside, and pushed the defensive line forward. Today, Fonseca once again demonstrated that he is a very brave coach. He started the league this way, and it's true that he was struggling to manage away games. In fact, he had won in Monza the other day without playing a great match, which is football, and he had won at the Bernabeu. For me, it complicates the Champions League for Real Madrid quite a bit. But well, there are 4 matches left, 2 of them very difficult away games in a row. I'm going to finish because I promised you, friends of Mundo Maldini, you will see the shot. Let's see it here. The shot of the Milan fans celebrating the victory. Here you have it, in the background. It's curious because they are 2 of the greats. Well, Real Madrid first, Milan, with 22 European Cups between the 2. And they hadn't played in the Champions League for a long time. Well, today we saw Real Madrid play Milan again in the Champions League. And you already know the result. Victory for Milan. A hug. Bye, 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 bye.